Good morning, good people. My name is Henrik Makaneta, and we are starting with our lesson, grade 7 mathematics. And of course, today being the 2nd of July, we will carry on with the topic for mathematics that we introduced yesterday. And of course, what is important is that we will carry on building up on the patterns, and we'll look at a wide range of examples together with some of the rules, just to build up on the lesson that we had yesterday. And of course, it's very important that we participate. Please feel free at any time. If you have a question, please feel free to ask at any time. Yesterday, we defined patterns, and we said that patterns simply means sequences that repeat based on a rule. So it's very important to note that the rule is one of the key tenets of the patterns. It will help you to define patterns, but also help you to find the next terms. Now, we are talking here about numeric patterns, and today I want us to look at several examples. Given a rule to describe the relationship, I want you to give that rule, and please use the rule to give the next 3 numbers in the sequence. So this is what we have. The first one there, as you can see, we have 5, 9, 13, and as well as the last one there, 5, 9, 13, and 17. So what is important is that we need to find the rule. Let us find the rule first before we can even look at the next 3 terms. What is the rule? We have 5, 9, 13, and 17. So you can see that if you have to move from 5 to 9, you have to add a number there, and that number will be 4, because 5 plus 4 will give you 9. So now 5 plus 4 is 9, and of course 9 plus 4 will give you 13, and 13 plus 4 gives you 17. So you can see already the pattern that the number or the rule means plus 4. You simply add 4, and of course once you add 4 there, you will be able to get the next 3 terms. So if I may ask, what then will be the next 3 terms if we have to expand this pattern? I'm talking about the first pattern in A, 5, 9, 13, and 17. Thank you very much indeed, Muderi. I'm also following on the chats. Today we'll be both on the chats and the live and the voice questions. Feel free at any time. So we have 5, 9, 13, and 17. These are the patterns. And of course, if you add 4, you have to find the next 3 patterns. So you can see that 4 is the number that you add there, and then you can be able to use that, as I said, to find the next 3 terms. And we will come back to that. We will come back to the next 3 terms. For now, I want us to zoom directly into B, where you have got 122, followed by 116, 110, and 104. So what is the pattern there? So you can see that this pattern, it's a descending pattern, meaning that it is moving from the biggest number to the smallest numbers. So the big number there is 122, which is followed by 116. So this is what we mean when we say it's a descending pattern. You can see that we had 122. But of course, this simply means you have to subtract. So what is that number which you are going to subtract in order to get 116? Meaning that what is that number that you will subtract from 122 in order to get 116? So you can tell that if you subtract 6 from 122, you'll definitely get 116. And in the same note, if you subtract 6 from the second one, again, you will be able to get 110. And if you subtract 104, you will be able to get, if you subtract 6 again, you'll be able to get 104. So definitely this will be the sequence, and you just subtract 6. And then the next one there, we have got 3, 9, 27, and 81. So you can see that in this sequence, if you can check thoroughly, you will be able to see that there's a multiplicative side. The multiplication, you have to, in fact, multiply. And of course, if you multiply 3 by 3, you get 9. And 9 multiplied by 3 will give you 27. And 27 times 3, therefore, gives you 81. So the rule here is that you have to multiply by 3. So thank you very much indeed. I'm following up on the comments, and welcome to those who have just joined us as well. So we are carrying on with the patterns, grade 7 mathematics this morning, and we have just done the first 3. We will have to look at the next 3 terms now. Now that we know the rules, we know that in the first instance, the rule is +4, and in B, the rule is -6, and in C, the rule is multiplied by 3, times 3. Can we use those rules to find the next 3 terms? Let's start with the first one there, 5, 9, 13, and 17. Let us find the next 3 terms. What will be the next 3 terms in this case? Let's find the next 3 terms in this case. Right, Mudiahi, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. You say that the next term will be 21. 21 meaning that you have added 4. Thank you very much indeed. Savannah, I see you have also answered correctly. You say you have given me the next 3 terms. You say it's 21, 25, and 29. Definitely, because 17 plus 4 gives you 21, and 21 plus 4 is 25. If you add 4 again there, you get 29. So thank you very much. And I don't know how to pronounce this name. Is it Mien or Mien? I think it's Mien. Yes, thank you very much indeed. So we have the correct answer there. So we have done A now. We have done the next 3 terms, 21, 25, and 29. Can we now zoom directly to B, and let's find the next 3 terms there in B. Let us find the next 3 terms. We have 122, 116, followed by 110, and then 104. So you can see that the rule in this case, you subtract 6. Can we find the next 3 terms? I like what you have done, Savannah, by putting all of them. Or at Sfiso Gumbi says the next term will be 98. I fully agree with you, Sfiso. The next term will be 98 because 104 minus 6 is 98. Thank you very much indeed, Sfiso. Is there anyone who wants to give us the other term? Because we are looking for 3. All right, Sfiso has given us the next term there, which is 98. All right, Sfiso again says 91. Sfiso, just be careful there, because remember that the rule says -6. So you say the next one will be 91. Can you check carefully there? Angelina has correct. Angelina Due, thank you very much. The next one will be 92. And of course, because 98 minus 6 will give you 92. I hope, Sfiso, you can see the error there. It's not 91, but 92. All right, so can you give me the last term, please? The third one? Savannah says the third one will be 86. Yes, I fully agree with you, because 92 minus 6 will give you 86. So 86 is the third one. Thank you very much indeed to all our participants. Please feel free at any time. Those who want to raise their hands, you are welcome as well if you want to speak via the mic. And of course, via the chat group, the chat room as well. The last one, or the C there, we have 3, 9, 27, and 81. I've given you the rule already. Can we now use the rule to find the next 3 terms? Right, Mien says the next term will be 243. Correct. Multiply 81 by 3, you will definitely get 243. Thank you very much indeed, Mien. Can we move to the next term? What will be the next term just after 243? Angelina Dube also has the same number there, 243. Correct. That is the next term. Remember, we're looking for the next 3 terms. Can you give me those 3 terms? So you have given me the first one, which is 243. Welcome, Junior. We are talking about the patterns. This morning, we are now expanding the last pattern, 3, 9, 27, and 81. We say that the rule is times 3. Yes, definitely, Mien, you have it correct. The next one will be 729. And of course, that means you multiply 81 by 3. So if you multiply 81 by 3, sorry, 243 by 3. So if you multiply 243 by 3, you get 729. So now we have to multiply 729 by 3 just to get the last term there, because we are looking for 3 of those. Can anyone show us or tell us what will be the next 3 terms? I don't see any hands, but I see that people are active in the chat group. That's okay. Can we find the last one there? Let's find the last one in the group chat. We have to just multiply 729 by 3. So I think Mien has it correct. 2,187. This is the last term. So I hope that you are carrying on with, this is a build-up, and we will be able to use it as we proceed to define and find patterns, find the necessary rules in these patterns. The time will come when we look at the inputs as well as the outputs and the relationship thereof. I'm talking here about the flow diagrams. We will look at those as well. Now, thank you very much indeed for participating in the first activity. Let us now go to the next slide, where we look at the fact that the patterns, can be defined in your own words. So it is really up to you. It is up to you how you define them. Somebody can say we are adding 4 to the previous number and so on. For instance, in the second category there, you can say that you are subtracting 6, or you count down in 6, or you subtract 6 from the previous number. So that is your call. You can use any words to describe the patterns, as long as the number is correct. The sequence is correct, that's okay. And the last one, of course, we said that you have to just multiply the pattern or the number, the previous number by 3. So if you multiply the previous number by 3, you get the next term. And that's how we have observed our patterns. So the next step, of course, is to just demonstrate, just to check whether your answers are correct. Yes, your answers are definitely correct. You can see in red, those that are in red, those are the next 3 terms. And of course, the last one being 243, 729, and 2,187, where you multiply the previous term by 3. I hope that it makes sense as we carry on to do the next examples. We have examples here, once again, which will help us just to, as a build-up towards our lesson tomorrow, find the next 3 terms in these patterns, but also describe the rule. So thank you, Junior. I hope that Junior has just mentioned that I'm a bit fast. Let me try to be slow. Can I go back to the previous slide? Let me do so. Going back to the previous slide, I was just demonstrating there that it is very important to calculate the next 3 terms using the rule. So, Junior, I'm sure you can see the numbers that are in black. For example, we have 5, 9, 13, and 17. That is a pattern. And then, of course, we want the next 3 terms. So just to show it to you once again, how do we find the next 3 terms? So it's very simple. The first thing that you need to do is to find the rule. And once you find the rule, then it will be easier for you to find the next 3 terms. But then again, you can also find the next 3 terms just by inspection. Just by looking at the pattern, you can see that from 5 to 9, we have added 4, because 5 plus 4 gives you 9. And then from 9 to 13, you also do the same, because 9 plus 4 gives you 13. And then from 13 to 17, again, you add 4, because 13 plus 4 gives you 17. And then the next 3 terms, again, you'll just keep on adding 4. 17 plus 4 will definitely give you 21. And 21 plus 4 will give you 25. 25 plus 4 will give you 29. I hope that this time we are not as fast. Junior, I hope that you are able to follow there in the first one, A. And the B, you also do the same. You can see that this descending sequence, starting from 122 right up to 104. So you have 4 terms there, 122, which is then followed by 116, then 110, 104. So you have got about 4 terms of your pattern or your sequence. And to get to the next 3 terms, all that you need to do is to look at the rule. What is the rule in this case? In other words, is there a number, a constant number that you can identify which characterizes your sequence? Yes, that number was given as 6, because 122 minus 6 will give you 116. And 116 minus 6 will give you 110. And 110 minus 6 will give you 104. So that's how you proceeded to get the next 3 terms there. The first one being 98. You can see that 104 minus 6 is 98. 98 minus 6 is 92. And 92 minus 6 there gives you 86, right? And then the last one was 3, 9, 27, and 81. Again, in this case, we multiplied by 3, and then of course 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27, 27 times 3 is 81. And then if you multiply 81 by 3, you get 243, and then you do the same with 729. You multiply the previous number by 3 to get 729. And then to get to 2,187, excuse me, you also multiply by 3. So 3 is it's not the constant difference, but it's rather you multiply with it. Excuse me. Right. The next one is the different examples that I've shown you. They are a bit, it's a build up on what we did yesterday. You can see already that we have 11, 14, 17, and 20 in the first instance. And then as you proceed, you'll see that the number becomes, or the numbers rather, becomes or become bigger. You know, we are extending our numbers. So we are starting with the first one. We are just going to describe the rule. Very important. Let's describe the rule. Mien has already given us the next 3 terms. Thank you very much indeed, Mien. In the group chat, Mien says the next 3 terms will be 23, 26, and 29. And how do you find that? You can tell that the rule in this case is plus 3. 11 plus 3. Yes, Mien has just checked, given us the rule again, adding 3. Yes, that's correct. So you add 3 in the first instance. I hope that, Junior, I hope that we are not that fast. You can see that 11 plus 3 will give you 14, and 14 plus 3 will give you 17, whereas 17 plus 3 will give you 20. So thank you, Junior. 23, and then 26 and 29, as Mien said. And Mudiehi has already come to the B there, and Mudiehi has given us the next 3 terms. And if you can tell here, from 21 to 30, you add 9. I think that's the rule there. From 30 to 39, again, you add 9. From 39 to 48, you add 9. So if you add 9 again in 48, you get 57, as Mudiehi has said. Yes, that's 57. And if you add 9 in 57, you get 66. And then once you add 9 again there, you will definitely get 75. Mudiehi, that is the correct answer. You have just given us the correct answer there. That's for C. No, that was for B, Mudiehi. That's for B. I see. Yes, I see Mien says 22, 26, and 30 are for C. Yes, that's correct. That is for C. We'll come to that just now. I see Mien has already answered C as well, and then Junior as well has answered C already. So yes, I fully agree. But if I may ask, what is the pattern there? What is the rule in C? If anyone can answer that, what is the rule? We've got 2 answers already from Angelina, from Junior, in fact, from Mien as well, about 3 of those. Before we go to your last answer then, to D, Mien, can we, okay, Junior has answered that. Junior says it is 4. Yes, I agree with you, Junior. The constant difference there is 4. And then if you plus 4 there, you get the next term. So 18 plus 4 gives you 22, and 22 plus 4 is 26. 26 plus 4 is 30. Thank you very much indeed, Junior. And Angelina as well has answered correctly. It's plus 4. I see that Mien is already in D, and I want us to follow, all of us, the pattern in D, 25, 50, and 75, and 100. That is our pattern. And I see that I don't want us to leave other learners behind, but I see Mien has already found the next 3 terms. Mien, what is your rule there? What is the rule that you have used? I see you have given us the correct answer. What is the rule? Can you tell us what is the rule? Mien says you are adding 125. Is that the rule for D? I see you have corrected yourself now. Yes. Thank you very much. You add 25. I agree with you, Mien. You add 25. If you can check the D there, you can tell that 25 plus 25 will give you 50, and 50 plus 25 gives you 75. 75 plus 25 gives you 100. Thank you very much indeed, Mien. You add 25. So Mien has given us now the next 3 terms. And she said, Mien says the next 3 terms are, according to Mien, 125, 150, and 175. And of course, it is true because you add 25. If you add 25 to 100, you get 125. And if you add 25 once again to 125, you'll get 150. If you add 150 to 25, then you get 175. Thank you very much indeed, Mien. We are now proceeding to E. Can we give everybody a chance to work it out? Let's go to E. I see some of you are done already. We have Junior and Mien with different answers. Mien says 600, 720, and 840. Junior says 500, 520, and 540. I see Savannah has just chipped in as well. You agree with Mien. There's a Junior again who agrees with Angelina. Can we find the pattern? What is the pattern in that case? We are now doing number 1E, example 1E. Can we find the rule? I think that the most important thing in finding the rule, I see Savannah has found it already together with Mien, is that we have to add 120. We have to add 120, and of course, if you add 120 to 120, you get 240 plus 120, you get 360. If you add 120 there, you get 480. I see that, I hope that everyone can follow in this instance. I don't want to leave anyone behind. Mien, thank you very much indeed. And Savannah, thanks to you as well. Those are the correct answers. The rule is plus 120. The rule is plus 120. And then we can use the rule to find the next terms, or rather the next 3 terms. And in this case, the next 3 terms will be in 480 plus 120, excuse me, which is 600. And then, of course, if you add 120 there, you get 720. And then if you add 120, you get 840. So Savannah has it correct. That is the correct answer. Junior, I hope you can be able to see. I see your next 3 terms there was 500, 620, and 740. I hope that you now follow in terms of the rule. The most important thing is to identify the rule. And you can do so, if you can't do it by inspection, you can just subtract the previous term from the next term. That's how you get the rule. So to get 120, it means you can just subtract this 120 from 240, and you'll see that the answer would be 120. Again, you can do it with the next 2 terms, 240 and 360. If you subtract 360 minus 240, that will give you 120, and that will definitely be the rule. the rule means plus. Let's go to Savannah. Savannah's hand is up. Please go ahead, Savannah.
So you said if we're having trouble finding the rule, that we just subtract the previous number. But what if the rule is a multiplication number?
Thank you very much indeed. That's a very good observation, Savannah. Very good. It does not always mean that you have to subtract. In this case, you can see that the numbers 120, 240, 360, if you cannot see it by inspection, that's the first thing. The first step is to subtract the previous number from the next number. And then you do the same with the next two terms, and then do the next three as well. Now, there's something called a constant difference. So if you can find that the number is constant, like in this case, 240 minus 120 gives you 120, and then 360 minus 240 also gives you 120, and then 480 minus 360 will also give you 120. And now 120 becomes something called a constant difference. And if you do that and it doesn't work, let's say, the other example that we did, let me take you back to the example where the last C there. You see in C, for instance, if you say 9 minus 3, you'll get 6, and then 27 minus 9, you'll get 18. So you can already see that we don't have a constant difference. Then in that case, you need to multiply then. You need to check the possibility of multiplying the previous term with a number to get to the next term. So thank you very much, Savannah. It's not always the case that you have to subtract the previous number from the next number. You can try that, but just make sure you check the constant difference. Don't do it once. In other words, if you subtract the previous number from the next number, you must not just do it once. You must also do it with the next two terms. So it's 240 minus 120, then 360 minus 240. If the numbers are the same, then you have a constant difference. But if the numbers are not the same, just like the previous one, the 3 and 9 and 27, then it means you have to either multiply or divide, depending on the sequence there. Thank you so much. That is a very good question, Savannah. Thank you so much. Now, we have to carry on with an activity. Before we do that, you can see that this is what the work that you have just done now. All of you have participated, and this was the sequence that we had, and the rule is +3. So you can see that the rule is +3. Like in this case, Savannah, what you have just said, you can see that we have a constant difference, which is 3. So therefore, +3 is the rule. So in this case. And of course, we carry on to see that in B as well, you also have a constant difference. You can tell that if you subtract 21 from 30, you get 9. If you subtract 30 from 39, again, you get 9. And if you do the same, 48 minus 39, you also get 9. Again, you have a constant difference, which in my view, the rule can be described as +9. So you add 9, and then to get to the next 3 terms. And then we have equally looked at this particular pattern, where you also see that there is a constant difference there. And of course, to get the next 3 terms as well. Now, even in this case, there is a constant difference. You add 25, and then of course, the next 3 terms are found as 125, 150, and 175. I saw your hand was up, Savannah, but I see it's down now. Right. All right. Thank you, Nazia. I hope Thank you very much. I see your name. You've corrected me there. Your name is Nazia. Thank you. I will call you Nazia from now onwards. I'm sure your device is registered under a different name. Thank you very much indeed. Now we carry on, and of course we go to look at D, and then D, of course, shows again. We have a number there, 120 to 240. Again, there's a constant difference of 120, and then you can use that to find the next three terms. So always important, the rule is very important when it comes to patterns. And then today, I want us to look at a very different category of the patterns, different from what we did yesterday. This is our class activity now. I want us to write it now. If you have a pen and a paper, take out your pen and paper and let's solve it. Or you can do it on your laptop, is fine. We have got the first one there, the first pattern, 30, 60, 90, and 120. And then you can see that we have got 10, 25, 40, and 55. Those are the patterns. I want us to zoom directly into the first one. Let us look at the first one there, and of course, we can carry on just to solve it. I'll give you about 30 seconds maybe, or a minute, just to reflect. I see that some of you have already found the correct answers there. Let me give you another 30 seconds and then we can look at that. Nazia, if you're done, you're welcome to proceed. I see Savannah has already found the next three terms. In fact, not Savannah, but Angelina and Nazia as well has found the correct answer. I see that you have found the answers already. Angelina says that the next three terms will be 150 followed by 180, which will be followed by 210. And I see that Nazia has already proceeded to be Angelina and Junior as well. Thank you very much indeed, Junior. I see your answer there, 150, 180, and 210. But you have not given us the rule. Junior and Angelina, maybe if you don't mind, just tell us what is the rule there in A. Which rule did you use to find the next three terms? Which rule? Okay, Junior has answered that. He says plus 30. Yes, I fully agree with you, Junior. There's a constant difference of 30 there. So if you add 120 to 30, you get 150. And if you add 30 there, you get 180. Adding 30 again will lead to 210. So yes, 150, 180, and 210. So those are the next three terms. Right, I see that Nazia has proceeded now to do C already. Let's finish B quickly. I think Nazia also did B for us, where Nazia has 70, 85, and 100. What is the rule there, Nazia? Can you give us the rule? Yes, Junior has given us the rule again. He says plus, did you say plus 30, Junior? Or is that for the previous one? Times 2. Nazia says times 2. I think Nazia is talking about C now. Can we finish B? What is the rule in B? Thank you, Nazia. I see your answer. If you times 2, that is for C. That is for C. Can you give me the rule for B? We have 10, 25, 40, and 55. Plus 15, yes, definitely. You add 15. Thank you very much indeed, Nazia. 15 That's plus 15 there. So 10 plus 15 is 25. If you add 15, you get 40, plus 15 is 55. And of course, if you add 15, you'll get 70. And then if you add 15 again, you'll get to the next term. Yes, thank you very much indeed. Now I see that we are proceeding to, I hope that everyone is on board. We are now at C, where Nazia has just given us the rule there. You said it's times 2. Definitely agree with you, because 10 multiplied by 2 will give you 20. And 20 times 2 is 40, multiplied by 2 is 80. So what are the next 3 terms there? I see Nazia has given us the next 3 terms. You say the next 3 terms will be 160, followed by 320 and 640. I fully agree with you there. Perfect. You have just multiplied everything there, the next term by 2. 80 times 2 is 160, and 160 times 2 is 320. And of course, that is correct. And can we move over to D now? Let's proceed to D. Savannah, I see you have already answered. You've got different answers. Junior also has some different answers there. I see Junior says, let's go to Nazia first. Or let's start with Savannah rather. Savannah has got -3, -4, and then -5. Maybe let me give you a chance to explain, Savannah, how did you find the next pattern? Just if you can just speak via the mic, if that's okay with you.
So I was observing the pattern, and as you could see, it's not going forward, it's going backwards. And when it reached 0, it became -1, and then after that came -2. So I just followed as it went.
Okay, and how did you find it? So did you subtract? Is there any number that you have subtracted? Is there any rule maybe that you have seen?
So you
by the way, okay, go ahead.
So you subtract -1.
Okay, exactly. So if you subtract -1 there, you will get the next 3 terms.
Yes.
If you can look, in fact, what I have here, you subtract the previous number there. Let's start with 1. Before 1, there's nothing. You know that 0 also means nothing. So 1 minus 0 there is 1, as you can see there. And then that's how we found this one. And then 1 minus 1 is 0. Can you see that? And then 0 minus 1 gives us -1. And -1 minus 0 again is -1. And -1 minus 1 there will give us a -2. So that is how the pattern proceeded. So you just subtract the previous number there. So thank you very much. I see Nazia has corrected himself that the answer that you had given there was not correct. So you just subtract the previous number. And without any waste of time, I want us to zoom directly now into the last one there, 1, 8, 27, and 64. Angelina Dube, I like what you have just said now. I see that you have mentioned the cube numbers there. I really appreciate that. Right, those are the cubes, yes. Those are the cubes. You can see that the first one is 1, followed by 8, followed by 27 and 64. So 1 cubed, 1 times 1 times 1 will give you 1. And the next one is 2 cubed. So 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And then the next one is 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. And then 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So can we find the next 3 terms? The next 3 terms, the first one will be 5 cubed. It will be 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25, and 25 times 5 is 125. And then 6 times 6 times 6 will give you 216. And the last one is 7 cubed. 7 times 7 is 49, and 49 times 7 is 343. So if you can check the group chat, you can see Angelina there has answered it correctly. 125, 216, and 343. And of course, this brings us to the end of today's lesson. I wanted us just to look at this rule here, just to find the 20th term. I was going to look at the table again, but time is not on our side. We have this sequence, which we have done, but I want you to use the rule to find the 20th term. Do this as part of your homework, and then we can carry on with our lesson tomorrow. Once again, this lesson was brought to you by the STEM Digital School under the guidance of Africa Teen Geeks in partnership with Sasol Foundation. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free at any time to send an email to stemdigitalschool@africateengeeks.co.za. Until we meet again, thank you very much indeed.